there?
Who's there? Not you.
What do you want?
Want you.
Stay back!
Come closer.
Good evening, everybody. On tonight's horror story, we'll be talking about the two most horrific hiking adventures. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe, because it means a lot. Let's get straight into it. By the time you read this, the sun is probably up. That helps. Everything I'm about to tell you is worse in the dark. I've worked search and rescue in the mountains for 11 years. Weekends, holidays, 3 a.m. snowstorms. Whenever someone goes missing or panics and hits that SOS button, my radio crackles and I lace my boots. Most of the calls are normal. Twisted ankles, people who underestimated distance or daylight, couples fighting and splitting up on the trail, drunk campers. Most. But there are 5 calls, 5 encounters I cannot explain. They're why I started writing this down. Because when I try to sleep, I see them in the backs of my eyelids, like after images from staring at the sun too long. Hiking forums call them disturbing encounters or glitch in the matrix hikes, or that one time I almost died. They're more than that. Think of this like a list. If that makes it easier, the top 5 most disturbing hiking encounters I've ever seen. They're all real. They all happened within 100 miles of each other. And lately, I've started to suspect they're connected. This is the echo that answered wrong. We got the call just after midnight. Solo hiker, female, late 20s. Her emergency beacon pinged from the Slot Canyon system on the east side of the range. She'd sent a short text through the satellite unit. I think someone's down here with me. They keep repeating me wrong. The word wrong. Was that stuck with me, even over the radio? The canyon she'd gone into is popular. Early in the day, lots of Instagram people, tripods and floppy hats. But at night, it turns into a wound in the earth. The walls squeeze inward until the backpack scrapes on both sides. Sound gets strange in there. Every step you take comes back to you a second later, like the world is reconsidering you. We hiked in with headlamps and helmets, radios murmuring in that half whisper SAR people use when they're pretending they're not nervous. Copy last, I muttered, overhang slick with condensation. My breath puffed white in the cold air. Her signal hasn't moved in 30 minutes, Commander replied. Last text was 20 minutes ago. Battery down to 8%. No new messages. We found her about an half an hour later, standing stock still in a slot no wider than a doorway. Her body turned toward the wall. For a second, I thought she was talking to someone. Her lips were moving, very slowly. "Who's down here with me?" she whispered. We stopped a few yards behind her, and my teammate Lena said gently, "Hey, SAR, we're here to help you." The woman did not turn around. Her shoulders trembled. "Who's down here with me?" she said again, slightly louder. And then from deeper in the canyon, maybe 20, 30 feet ahead, where the darkness thickened, something answered. Not like an echo, not like the same voice bouncing back. The words were slightly off, like a recording played at the wrong speed. "Who's down there without me?" It wasn't our hiker's voice. It was flatter, stretched, too calm. Lena's hand shot out and gripped my sleeve. I did the first dumb thing that came into my head. I cupped my hand and yelled, "Hello? This is search and rescue. Call out if you need assistance." Silence soaked through the stone. Then, "This is search and you. Call out it. You need us instead." The cadence was all wrong. The words didn't bounce back right. They didn't even match. The woman finally turned to us. Her pupils were blown wide, her face streaked with dried tears and canyon dust. "You hear it?" she whispered. "You hear how it changed?" She had started talking to herself, to stay calm when the sun went down. A normal thing. She'd asked herself questions, making dumb jokes. But each time, the echo came back. Different. A few new words. A swapped pronoun. Then entire sentences she hadn't said at all. "Why didn't you keep moving?" I asked as gently as I could, while Lena checked her vitals. "Because," the woman said, voice shaking. "It asked me to." The next echo had said, "Stop, move. You're scary. We escorted her out. I forced myself not to look back down at the canyon. Later, at home, I tried it myself. Whispered the words she claimed she said first. Is anyone down here with me? I closed my eyes and imagined the stone answering. Is anyone down here with me? There are natural explanations. Acoustic anomalies. Pareidolia. Stress. You hear what you expect to hear. That's what I tell people. I never tell them that when we pull the GP's track from her watch, we saw that she'd walked in a straight line for 8 miles, then stopped for almost 2 hours before sending the SOS. And in that stopped section, the track zigzagged back and forth in a tiny area, as if she'd been pacing, talking to the wall, taking turns speaking. That was the echo that answered wrong. The first story. If you made it this far, please like the video and subscribe. Let's continue. This is the man on the switchbacks. The second one didn't start as a rescue. It was just me, off duty, out for a sunset hike on the West Ridge Trail. Switchbacks up, switchbacks down. Classic grind, long views of the valley. About 2 miles from the trailhead, I passed a guy coming down. He was wearing old school gear, faded red windbreaker, external frame packs, scuffed leather boots, mid-40s, maybe. Beard more grey than black. Nothing unusual, except for a particular stillness in his face, like a photograph that hasn't fully loaded. We did the hike or not. How's the trail up top? I asked, out of habit. He smiled, late, like he had to remember how. Clear, he said, worth it. His teeth were very white and very even. For some reason, that's what I remember. I kept going. My brain filed him away. Guy headed down. Noted and forgotten. By the time I reached the line, the sun was bleeding orange along the horizon. The wind smelled like cold iron. I didn't stay long. I've seen that view 100 times. On the way back down, my legs started to get that pleasant burn, the I've earned my dinner feeling. I turned one tight switchback, and there he was again. Same red windbreaker, same beard, same not quite right smile. Coming toward me from below. I slowed automatically, confusion prickling. I hadn't seen any spur trails, no other ridges feeding into this one, and he was definitely descending when I first passed him. His poles had been angled downhill, his pack straps hung loose, like you do when gravity is helping. Now he was angled uphill, windbreaker zipped, no poles. We did the hiker nod again, closer this time. Close enough for me to smell his aftershave, sharp and clean in the dirt and pine air. How's the trail up top? He asked. Same words, same cadence, as if he were trying them out. My mouth went dry. Fine, I said slowly. Little windy. Worth it? He asked. Yeah, I said. Worth it. His smile stretched too wide for a moment, then snapped back into place, like someone pulling a rubber band. We passed each other. Every instinct I had screamed to turn and look back, to make sure he was real, solid, still there. I didn't. Instead, I picked up my pace, nearly jogging the next two switchbacks. My heart thudded against my ribs in that way I know too well. The edge of panic, where you find yourself listening too hard for footsteps behind you. I turned the next switchback and almost collided with him. He was right there in front of me again. Red windbreaker, bare hands, no pack at all this time. Up close, his eyes were wrong. Not the colour, just the way they moved. They didn't quite track my face. They slid a fraction of a second behind where they should, as if seeing me through a delay. How's the trail up top? He asked. His voice was flatter now, words spaced out, like a kid learning a new language. I took a step back. You okay, man? I heard myself say. You lost? His head tilted to one side, just a little too far. A curious dog, Okay, man, he repeated. You lost. The valley had gone strangely quiet. No birds, no insects, just the soft rasp of his breath. I did turn then. I couldn't help it. I looked past him, down the trail I'd just come. 4 switchbacks below us, tiny against the slope. I saw another flash of red. A figure moving slowly, steadily down toward the trailhead. Same jacket, same stride. My stomach lurched. When I looked back, the man in front of me was grinning. It looked painful, like the skin of his face hadn't been built for that expression. Worth it, he said. His breath smelled wrong too. Not rotten, not alcoholic, just unused, like air from a tire. I stepped around him without another word. He didn't move to stop me. He just pivoted slowly, as if his feet were stuck to the dirt, turning to watch me go. I didn't run. Running can trigger the wrong kind of chase, even from people who were just unwell. But I didn't slow down either, until I was at the trailhead, lungs burning, sweat chilling under my shirt, despite the evening warmth. I turned once more to look up at the slope. Far above, at the very top of the switchbacks, something red glowed faintly in the dying light. A week later, a caller came in to search and rescue. Missing hiker. Male. Mid-40s. Red jacket. Last seen 4 months earlier. His car had finally been ticketed, then towed. The family put things together. We found the remains 2 miles off the main trail, down in a steep ravine, where he'd slipped on loose scree, broken neck. Most likely, animals had done what animals do. His windbreaker had faded to a dull pink, sun-bleached and tattered. When I rolled him gently to check his pockets, his teeth stared up at me. They were crooked, several chipped. Nothing like the perfect white smile I can't forget. The official line. Stress, dusk paranoia, a mind primed by too many ghost stories. But in my notebook, in my own handwriting, I've summarized that day with 4 words. Something was learning how. That is the end of the second story, The Man on the Switchbacks. If you'd like to hear story 3, 4 and 5. Stay tuned for part 2. And once again, if you liked the video, subscribe to the channel as it helps a lot. Good night, everybody.